SCP-1865 is an entity that at first glance might look like a human in a diving suit that washed up on shore from a submarine wreck. But SCP-1865 is far from human. Today, Life's Biggest Questions asks, what if SCP-1865 was real? Hello and welcome back to Life's Biggest Questions, the channel that imagines the impossible. I'm Charlotte Dobre, and can I get a thumbs up for my first SCP video? I know Jack Finch has been the voice of reason for our series up until this point, but I thought it was high time I gave an SCP video a go. By the way, if you're new here on this channel, we ask and attempt to answer the most interesting questions we can think of. Hit that subscribe for more daily questions, and don't forget to stick around until the end of the video where we respond to users' comments. Yes, even the mean ones. Before we can figure out what it would be like if SCP-1865 was real, I should probably tell you a little bit about it. SCP-1865 is an entity that resides in an old-fashioned deep-sea diving suit that looks as though it was manufactured between 1955 and 1965. It's 1.2 meters tall and weighs 150 kilograms. Through the porthole of the diving suit, a mouth that resembles a cephalopod can be seen. The mouth opens and closes at irregular intervals. The deep-sea diving suit that contains SCP-1865 is filled with seawater, some vegetation, and watercraft debris. If the suit becomes punctured, it's sealed from the inside with a fleshy substance in under 5 seconds. The fleshy substance is likely part of SCP-1865's body. Testing has revealed that exposure to air does damage to SCP-1865. Sections of its body exposed to air are immediately calcified. SCP-1865 was found on the southern beach of Tanapang, Saipan in 1979. It came ashore close to a village that's name was redacted from documents. Villagers tried to get close to SCP-1865, but as they approached it, it began emitting low-pitched vocalizations. The leader of the village reached out with his hand, but SCP-1865 crushed his hand. Villagers then took it captive and contacted authorities. SCP-1865 has been classified as safe, aquatic, and biological. But safe does not exactly mean that SCP-1865 is friendly, or that you should approach it, or that it can be contained. According to the SCP Foundation, the classification of safe is assigned to subjects or objects that may be effectively and reliably contained. Safe designates may have individual containment procedures, but these procedures are expected to fail frequently, or be subject to later revision as more information is obtained about the object. When interacting with a safe SCP, you should be professional and courteous, and also take account special containment procedures. And just because SCP-1865 is classified as safe, that does not mean that it should not be contained. There are many safe SCPs that have the capabilities to be quite dangerous. A safe SCP distinction means that it can be handled safely with appropriate containment procedures. If SCP-1865 was real, it would most certainly be pried at by scientists in a secret SCP facility. We know that SCP-1865 resembles a cephalopod inside of an old-fashioned diving suit, but we don't know what it looks like without the diving suit containing it. Perhaps SCP-1865 was some sort of highly intelligent cephalopod that made its way into a sunken diving suit. Within that diving suit, we know it resembles a human. It was approached by a group of villagers, and the leader shook its hand. This cephalopod has somehow found a way to walk upright like a human, reach out its hand like a human, and crush the hand of another person. This suggests that cephalopods are far more intelligent than we previously assumed. Kurt Cobain once said, "It's okay to eat fish because they don't have any feelings." But there are many recent studies done that suggest that cephalopods are actually some of the most intelligent of all animals. More intelligent than dolphins, more intelligent than apes. Cephalopods are masters of mimicry and disguise. The ink squids used for protection is both a defense mechanism and a disguise. Perhaps SCP-1865 is a cephalopod who is so advanced it developed the ability to mimic humans, and maybe this means there are other cephalopods out there that could do the same. It is also known that some octopuses can make their way through mazes and use tools, which are characteristics of extremely high intelligence. This could mean that SCP-1865 could find a way out of its containment and would need to be contained by a very advanced, very difficult to bypass procedure and cell. A Japanese biologist, Shuichi Shigeno, published a paper that suggested that the cephalopod neural system may be the basis for developing strong artificial general intelligence. SCP-1865 could be studied on this basis so that we could learn to emulate its abilities for our own development of AI. Even to this day, very little is known about our oceans. Could it be that unlikely that cephalopods have evolved in such a way to suggest they could be capable of such things? If SCP-1865 was real, perhaps there are other highly advanced cephalopods like it, lurking somewhere in our oceans, finding their way into old-fashioned diving suits, and learning how to behave like humans. But now I open up the question question to you, dear subscribers: what if SCP-1865 was real? Let us know down in the comments. For now, I'm gonna wrap up this video with some common features from my last video on this channel. What if we put our trash into volcanoes? Huzafia Plays said, "This works. Trust me, I tried it in Minecraft." Well, if it works in Minecraft, it must work in real life. Dr. Shreckelbean said, "And by trash, do you mean our entire species?" Sure, that would be both interesting and satisfying. Well, alright, Negative Nancy, that also includes you, doesn't it? Oscar Mayer said, "Thank God, it's the lady with the normal voice. I can finish the video now." Hey Oscar Mayer, you wiener. Rebecca does have a normal voice, she just has an accent. Jeez. Doge Rocket said, "What if you dropped a nuke in a volcano?" I have a feeling that it would not end well, Doge Rocket. Alien Z Gamer said, "Who loves Life's Biggest Questions?" By the way, I'm close to 8K subscribers. Congratulations, everybody go subscribe to Alien Z Gamer. That is all for this episode of Life's Biggest Questions, but if you enjoyed this video, you'll love the playlist that's currently flashing on your screen. And don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so I can see you in a future episode of Life's Biggest Questions.